Welcome to my podcast. I am a cocaine dealer. I look like a cocaine dealer right now, but Kelsey told me it was kind of a vibe, so we're gonna roll with it. I am so fucking over the goddamn medical system. Like I talked about this like 2 episodes ago, how I've been having these spots on my body for fucking 6 years. I went to fucking Narnia 12 times to try to figure out what's going on. And listen, I understand, things are complicated in the medical field too. It's not like one symptom just means one thing. Everything overlaps. That's why when you WebMD something, it's like you either have a rash or you have stage 4 cancer. I understand that. But I know nothing. Right? I'm going to a professional in hopes that you will not only provide me with information, but also give me somewhere to go. It's like when I go to the vet with Winston and they're like, well, we can either, do 75 x-rays or you can just take him home and monitor him. I'm like, that's not good enough for me. I need you to be like, hey, these are what it could be. This is what I would recommend. Help me out. And oh God, I'm so fucking frustrated because I went to 4 different dermatologists. Finally, the 4th one tells me, hey, you might have an autoimmune disorder. I'm like, great. I've had these spots on my body for like 6 years. So have I had an unknown autoimmune disorder this whole time? No doctor was like, hey, let's fucking do an autoimmune panel. And then now I got this dermatologist appointment that I went to today because I developed eczema, but I'm looking that eczema can also be linked to autoimmune. So all this stuff is happening because I am having to do this research. I don't want to do this research. That's why I now have a PPO plan and spend a fuck ton of money on health insurance so I can go to people that know what they're talking about and they can filter through the information because I am a hypochondriac. Hypochondriac, is there a T at the end of that or a K? Hypochondriac. Hold on, I'm asking my associate to Google ChatGPT. Hypochondriac. I'm a hypochondriac. So if I start doing research about something, that is a slippery slope for me. It's not good for my mental well-being. So I go to the fucking dermatologist today, which by the way, I could not get an appointment for 3 months. That's another thing. I'm like, what the fuck? And then I get there 15 minutes early because I'm like, I don't want to risk. I've been waiting for this appointment. I'm not even kidding you, 15 people in the waiting room. She's like, oh, we're kind of backed up today. I'm like, how is this okay? And then I get in there and she's like, oh yeah, that's not eczema. It's an autoimmune thing. And I think I also am going, maybe other people feel this way, is like, I'm very independent. I can call, I can make my own appointments. I can do a lot of things on my own. But whenever I have had health ailments in the past, it was when I was younger and my mom would come to doctor appointments with me and she would just always know the right questions to ask. And I'm like, when does that happen? Do you have to have kids for that to kick in where you know the questions to ask? Because I don't know the questions to ask. I just go there and I'm like, hey doc, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. What do I need to do? How can we wrap this up as quickly as possible? And how can you I want the spark notes for what I need to be doing. My mom would always come prepared. What are the side effects? Can she mix that medication with this multivitamin and this medicine? How long should she take it for? Like, I don't ask those questions. And now that I'm dealing with these health ailments, I want to hire basically a mom to just come on appointments. Don't laugh at me. I'm being serious. Kelsey's laughing at me. I want to hire, there should be like a WAG service, but for like temp moms, like things that you would want a mom to come with you on. Why are you laughing? This is actually a really good business idea, bitch. Right. Okay. Well, we're obviously not aligned in what we're thinking about. She was thinking like wives and girlfriends of athletes, right? Of athletes, that's what it is. No, I'm talking about like WAG dog walking service. We need that, but for like, who wants to be my mom for the day? You show up to appointments with me. You know the right questions to ask. You can kind of filter through things. You can also just tell me, hey, don't do that. That's not good for you. Like I need that. I don't necessarily want my mom to do that. Just somebody that has no connection to me that I can actually trust, No, I trust my mom, but sometimes, when it's your family member, it's too close to you and you're like, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. Anyway, that's not even what I'm talking about right now, but I'm just like so annoyed about this because I feel like I keep spending so much money. And at the end of the day, you have to know your body. Yeah, you have to know your own shit, right? You have to look out for your own shit. You have to use your own discernment. You have to But sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes I just want to go in and someone be like, this is what it is. This is your 10-step routine to fix this and then be on my merry way, And I was really frustrated when I left because I really felt like I got nothing to help me. But I did start collecting things. Oh, also, wait, hold on. Before I get into this, I went to an event last night, and I feel like ever since I got on a podcast and I'm like, guys, I don't leave my house. I don't drink. The bitch has been leaving her house and she has been drinking. And again, I have a very healthy relationship with alcohol. I've talked about it before. I don't love when people are just wildly abusive of alcohol, but I've been having fun. And it's kind of like I'm starting to have fun now at 32, and everybody in LA is sober. I'm like, come on, man, throw me a bone. I'm like, you guys want to do a drink? They're like, sorry, sober. I'm like, I just saw you do blow off a toilet seat. What do you mean you're sober? But anyway, we went to this Armani event last night, which was actually, I was just telling Kelsey, this is the most fun LA event I've been to, which is saying a lot. I feel like I rarely have a genuinely fun time at an event. This was actually really fun. Don Julio. I'm a big fan of Peggy Gou. She's mother to me. So anything that she does, I just am like, yes, I will do that too. She drinks Don Julio. So now I drink Don Julio. She's actually the face of Don Julio right now. It's the Sick campaign. Anyway, Don Julio was sponsoring this event. Shane, don't fucking text me during a podcast. So Don Julio sponsored the alcohol. So there's 1942, which is expensive, right? I thought that was the highest tier. No, there's a Anejo Reserva. I'm going to be a dick. I'm going to be such a dick. I don't do shots. Okay. There's like you have to drink at these events because if it's insufferable to not drink, because you're going to end up having to network and talk. And I need just a little bit of alcohol fueling my life. So there's a private alcohol tasting room and we go in and he's like, oh, we're doing shots. I'm like, nah, I don't do that. He's like, no, these are good shots. This was the scariest experience for me because I couldn't taste anything. I go, that, my friend, is dangerous. But now I'm like, where they say money doesn't buy happiness. Okay. Well, it buys things that make life a lot easier. Okay. Like not having to have a hangover. Cause I'll tell you what, if I could afford a $430 bottle of Don Julio Anejo in college, it's basically like when you play a video game and you get a cheat code or you get a skin that gives you like these crazy skills that you can't do. You're cheating. It would have been a cheat to life because I took 3.5 shots last night. Do you know what would normally happen to me if I had 3.5 shots? I would still be on the floor. I woke up 7 a.m., cleaned a little. I cleaned before my cleaning ladies came. And I mean, I don't look great, but I feel like I'm not dying. So now I said to Shane, I go, honestly, that alcohol is going to make me start drinking because of that. I'm going to be the dick that's like, you guys got Don Julio and Anejo? And they're going to be like, no, we don't have a $450 bottle. This is the bungalow. And I'm going to be like, all right, sorry, I can't drink then. But it was fucking delicious. This is not an ad, by the way, but I do need to find a way to get on that peer list because I don't want to spend that much money. Anyway, I started collecting things. I've become a collector. I started collecting things, moments, feelings in which I feel something, I say something, I notice something, and it is so different than the masses opinion, and I have a feeling after where I go, something is wrong with me, or I'm not okay, or that's not right. I collect those. Oh, you thought I collected pins or something, or like bottle caps? No, I collect moments in which I feel like I am super isolated. I don't want to say I've always felt like a black sheep. How deep do we want to get? I don't know. I haven't always felt like I could relate to a lot of people because I feel like a lot of times my opinions or way of seeing things has been wildly different than those around me, which I love that. I love being around people that have differing opinions because that's how you grow and that's how you learn how to have emotional intelligence and work with others. It's very important. But sometimes I really feel like everybody around me thinks differently. So I consolidated a list. This was actually, I don't know when you heard the podcast. I think probably before this one. I thought of this in the shower and I was like, oh my God, I gotta like start writing those down. So I've been collecting these moments. And now listen, I'm gonna read you this list. It's gonna sound very pick me. You're gonna go, okay. It's like when people are like, oh, I hate having big tits. I want to get a reduction. And you're like, shut the fuck up. It's not that. I know these sound pick me because innately they are against the norm. but trust me when I say there's nothing pick me about these. I wish I didn't feel the things that I'm going to read to you. I so wish it would just, sometimes I just want to feel normal. Sometimes I want to think things and I want my brain to work in the way that other people's brains work. I don't want this for me. So if it comes off pick me, it's not. Okay? This is quite a long list. I swear to God, ever since I said something about fucking Steve Jobs, my laptop does this weird thing. Oh, sorry. Okay, it's back. Okay. So the first one is I am not somebody that's like a big friends girl. And that sounds bad. I know people that if they don't see their friends, like they genuinely have withdrawals. I don't think I've ever experienced having withdrawals, I guess, for any relationship. I think when you first start honestly, the only thing that I ever really miss are my dogs. Do you say you agree? Oh, sorry. Well, like of course, but this is, here we go. I don't want that to reflect the love that I have for the people in my life. It's more so just something that is innately true to who I am, that I have a very small group of friends and I don't see them very often. And a lot of them I don't even talk to very often. And I'm okay with that. I still feel fulfilled. And then always, like, I never experience actively missing things. Weren't we talking about that, Kelsey, going to Coachella? And you said that that's something that has to do with ADHD, ADD. I think we talked about it. I think I had read somewhere that is a trait of somebody that has ADD. Like that's a normal thing. Cause I have researched it once. Cause again, sometimes I think things and I Google it and I'm like, am I okay? But I rarely experience missing people, even my family. And it has no reflection of my love for them or the importance that they have in my life. It's just, I guess, that maybe my brain is always so busy that I don't really experience missing. I think when I go through something really traumatic and I don't have, like, I went through a situation where I was traveling not too long ago and I like missed my boyfriend and I called him and I was like, I just wish someone was here to take care of me right now. I think when something like that happens where I have like a really dark moment, I experience missing. But I am not somebody, I know people that if they don't see their friends, like they go crazy. But I will say this, I don't experience missing. I'm not like, I need to be around my friends all the time. But then when I go out and I see my friends, I'm like, oh, wow, I didn't realize how much I missed them. So it's like when I experience it, I acknowledge the lack of time that I had spent with them. But during the lack thereof time, I'm not actively thinking about it, if that makes sense. And it's so weird because I watch shows like Sex and the City all the time. And I'm like, oh, I always wish that I had that. But then the other part of me is like, no, like, I don't know. I'm not a big friends girl. And I love people. I'm social. Like, sorry, this is like really hurting my ears. I'm social. I love my friends. I think it takes a lot for me to really bring somebody in. Like I definitely have different onion layers of friendships. Like I have coworkers and then I have acquaintances and then I have friends and then I have close friends. Like it takes a lot for somebody to go from that outer ring of work friends or acquaintances to somebody like in my really, really close circle. And I think it's also just because I know how much energy goes into other things in my life right now. And I can only hold so much energy for friends. Like I'm not in a place where it would be sustainable for me to have 30 close friends. It's exhausting. And then when everybody starts getting married, it's expensive. It's just like, I just don't need that. And that makes me feel really isolated. And also sometimes makes me feel like, I hope people don't think it's like I'm not a girl's girl. My next point is I would rather be alone than be around people. But I've been like that my entire life. I was an only child. I also didn't have anybody in my family that was my age. Like I had no cousins. I have a very small family. And then I was a child actor. So I was around adults. So I've always just been really comfortable around adults. And I love being alone. I'll give you an example. In college, two of my still close friends, I lived with both of them off campus. We got an apartment together, and it was really my first time living in a place that wasn't a dorm with other people. And every time I would get home from class, I would go in my bedroom and I would shut the door, and I would, watch something on my laptop, just hang out, listen to music, just really decompress. And every time they would get back from class, they would go immediately in the living room and like congregate and talk about their day and talk about their night. And I never did that. And one day, now mind you, I love them to death. They're still my very close friends. But one day they kind of pulled me aside and they were like, "Are you mad at us?" I was like, "What? No, why?" "Well, every time you come home from class, you always go in your room and you don't hang out with us." And I had never acknowledged that because, again, I was an only child. I never grew up with siblings. I never lived with people. So I never understood that that's how that could be perceived. And it was my first time acknowledging, oh, this is how it appears to other people. I was like, oh my God, guys, me going in my room has nothing to do with me not wanting to be around you. I just am socially drained, and I don't know. I haven't had any alone time, and it's so integral for me to have alone time before I re-enter society. But that's just how I've been my entire life. My mom used to say, even as a kid, if something traumatic would happen to me, I would never cry in front of people. I would immediately like hold everything in, go in my room, shut the door, and cry there. I've just always been a lot more comfortable on my own. And it makes me feel very different, and it makes me feel really isolated. And there are some only children that relate to what I go through. I feel like only children either go one of two ways. Either they constantly have to be surrounded by people and be around that because there's a lack of that, or they kind of fall into my category where all they know is being alone. There are things that you do as a kid that you don't really realize have an impact on your life until you get older, and then you get into other relationships and you're like, oh, I'm the fucking weird one that's fucking going in my room and shutting the door and watching SpongeBob on my laptop. So that's that. I think also part of it too is that I really like to have deep, meaningful conversations when I'm around people. Like I love like sitting and just talking shit and whatever it may be, but I also love to be around people that I can have deep, meaningful conversations. But I also know I have to mentally be in the right space to be able to engage in an engaging conversation. So sometimes I'd rather just be on my own if I know I can't get to that level where I can carry out that kind of meaningful conversation. And then the other thing is too, is I want to be invited. I'm probably not going to go. I want to be invited. I'm not going to go. But then if you don't invite me, I'm going to be butthurt. Even if I know, wow, that looks terrible, I would have never went. I feel left out. So that's what's always going on in my brain. The next thing that makes me feel really isolated is I don't think my wedding, if I get married, will be the best day of my life. I have felt that way being with terrible partners and also being with incredible partners. I have never been the girl. There are a lot of people that I know ever since they were little. They're like, they know where they want to get married. They know what their dress looks like, what their ring looks like. I never was that girl. And I refer to people's weddings as the best day of their life because I assume that most people feel like their wedding is going to be the best day of their life or was the best day of their life. I don't know. I don't feel that. And it has nothing to do with, again, my feeling of love towards my partner. It just has to do with, if I get married, I don't need the wedding to be the thing that proves that I'm supposed to be with the person I'm supposed to be with. You know what I mean? It's not, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, what, you get married, that's the best day. Why? You just like write your name on a piece of paper and it's official. Like I've been living with the same person for over 5 years. Nothing will feel more real than that. So I always feel weird when I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to be, it would be beautiful. It would be amazing to be in one place at the same time with all of your family members where it isn't a fucking funeral or, some lame ass Christmas, lunch that your mom drags you to. That's great. But also, I don't know. I'm not like, oh, that's going to be the best day of my life. And I also think that being in LA, people in LA, especially people in any sort of entertainment industry, we live a very niche life in the sense that we do things that are not normal. I went to part of my job last night was I went to a celeb studded Armani event on a Thursday night. You know, I think a lot of people, like I think about even my parents that work 9 to 5s, that, you know, have a little bit more structure in their life. The season of getting married is so exciting because, you know, you get to have this bachelorette, you get to travel with your friends, you get to have this big wedding and coordinate your outfits and your rings and the food and all of that, where I kind of feel like I get to experience some of that, not in my day to day, but getting married wouldn't be the first time that I feel like I'm experiencing that all at once. So I crave normalcy because my day to day isn't normal. Whereas if my day to day had a little bit more stability, I think I would crave those moments of like going on trips with my friends, going out with my friends. I don't know. That might not make any sense. But again, that's the point. It doesn't make any fucking sense. That makes me feel isolated as fuck. But I do not think my wedding is going to be the best day of my life. And I stand by that. And that doesn't mean that it wouldn't be fun. I just don't. I'm not like, oh my God, it's the most important day of my life. The most important day of my life is when I can fucking get through one podcast episode without my laptop shitting the bed. No, do not jump. Thank you. Okay. Whoa, how did I get here? Okay, next thing. I mean, on that note, being a mom, I mean, I struggle with this so much. I have a mother's instinct. I know I have it in me because I have 2 dogs and something clicked when I got my dogs. You can say that's horse shit. I don't give a fuck. Something in me that I didn't know was there clicked when I had my dogs. And I'm assuming it's the same when you have kids. Out of nowhere, like you just figure it out. Like I always say, how do you know how to have kids? And people just say, you just figure it out. It's the same thing with dogs, right? We got our dogs knowing nothing and you just learn and you figure it out and something kicks in and you have to take care of these 2 things and be responsible for them. And this part of you kicks in. But also having dogs has honestly made me not want to have kids because I am so wildly protective of them and fearful of things happening to them that I know that it would only be amplified if I had human children. But also, I was never one of those girls that was like, oh, I can't wait to be a mother. And that kind of makes me sad and that I feel left out. And I know I'm not the only one there. I know that there are plenty of people that struggle with that too. But I just, even growing up, I remember young girls being like, I can't wait to be a mom, or like playing with dolls as if the doll was their daughter and like they were taking care of it. And I think as I got older, I always thought something was wrong with me because I am caring. I feel like, especially in my friend group, like I definitely feel like I'm caring and loving and helping, but I never was that nurturing. I never had this nurturing innate instinct since I was young, and that makes me feel wildly left out. And then people are like, "Oh, well, some people are like, oh, you'll never feel ready." Well, that's not true. There are some people that are ready. There are some people that have been ready since they were literally a fucking child. And if you aren't ready and you just take the risk and you have kids, like that's a risk. You just assume that once you have the kid, you'll be ready. I don't know. It's just, I struggle so much. I also think too much. I think too much. I think it's one of those things that you kind of know that you'll figure it out and there's no point in overthinking it, but I do tend to overthink things. Okay. This one, I made a pact with myself that I would never ever publicly admit this, and I'm gonna do it right here live for you guys. Kelsey knows this, but nobody knows this, and I'm gonna say it here. And I need you to have an open mind when I say this, and you're gonna let me immediately defend myself before you come at me. Probably the number one fucking thing that makes me feel isolated, like I don't belong, like something is wrong with me, like I would be judged if I exposed my true self, is I do not listen to the following artists: Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Lana Del Rey, Lady Gaga. Hold on. I, of course, love Lady Gaga songs. I would say I would not ever put on a Taylor Swift song, a Beyonce song, or a Lana Del Rey song. That actually felt really good to get that off my chest. I feel like I had to say it. I've been petrified that I'm so afraid that I'm going to get on a carpet. And especially when the Eras tour was happening, I avoided events. I avoided them because I was like, I know what the question is right now. The question is, what era are you? I don't even know the eras. I don't even know them. I have no idea. Reputation. That's it. I would say Reputation. Or what's your favorite Taylor Swift song? Teardrops on My Guitar? I don't know. I am so fearful of that question. So I feel like I just needed to come out and say it now. Now, let me justify. Let me talk my shit. I think all of these artists are wildly talented. They're obviously very good at what they do. They're X, Y, and Z. This is not about talent. I'm just not putting them on when I'm trying to feel some sort of way. Okay. When I Google like on Spotify, like getting ready with the girls playlist, it's this stuff. And that's why I just play the game because I feel like not a girl's girl because I'm never going to put on one of these songs. Now, don't get me wrong. I will shake my ass to anything. It is hard to shake your ass to Taylor Swift. I will not shake my ass to Taylor Swift. But like a good Beyonce song, a good Gaga song, in the right context, absolutely, I will shake my ass. But you give me a phone and you say, I'm holding up a gun right now. Put on a fucking jam. Never am I putting on one of these. And I know I'm gonna lose most of my fan base. And I don't judge you guys. You should judge me. I am the odd one out. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong up here. I also grew up, let me be very clear. My mom had a very different music taste than all the moms growing up because my mom was younger than most of the moms in my group. All of my friends' moms are older than my mom. I grew up with niche music in my community around the people that I grew up with. I didn't grow up with like rock and roll. I didn't grow up really with like Britney Spears. I grew up with George Michael, Seal, Pebbles, Gypsy Kings, Kylie Minogue, songs that nobody my age were listening to. So I always had and Sugar Hill Gang, like that's the music that was Sade, Norah Jones, like that was the music that was playing. Kenny G, just that was not what kids my age were playing. So in my defense, I've always had a different, since I was a kid, it's just been ingrained in me. I've always was just going to go in a different direction with music. And now I feel so left out all the time because I got invited to go to the Beyonce concert with like 6 different brands. And I know I would have had a great time. And so many of my friends went. But that is grounds to be canceled. Like I have a feeling nobody's clipped my podcast episodes yet. And you know, this would be the one. And I'm just hoping that honesty is the best policy and we listen and we don't judge and you guys won't hold it against me. And you will know that I will always have fun. I will never put on this music. On that note, another thing, I know fucking nothing about astrology. I don't know one thing about astrology. I barely know that my sign is a Pisces. Oh my God. When people are like, what's your rising? I'm like, guys, this is my rising. It's my middle finger going up in the air. That's my rising. I don't know. I'm Pisces. There's Aries in there. I asked my mom one time, what time was I born? Because that's the question you need to figure out what you are. My mom was like, I don't know. You were born around 3 something. I'm like, you don't even fucking know what time I was born? So I have no idea. I will say I am learning more about Pisces because I'm interested and I am an intellect, you know, and I like to read. No, I don't like to read. I like to skim articles about things that only affect me. So I have read about Pisces and I'm like, okay, I get down with a lot of this, you know, I get down with all the positive traits about Pisces. All the negative ones, I'm like, nah, that must be my other moon must be taking over that because that's not me. But I know absolutely fucking nothing about astrology. That again, grounds to be canceled. Now this one, I have publicly said this one time. In the earlier days, it was one of my very early viral videos. Not for good reason. I got fucking torched. It was my first time learning how cruel the internet could be. I hate brunch. I like, if you said, what is hell on earth day to you? I'd say, if we went to Soul Cycle and then you took me to brunch and then you took me to the Era store. I'm gonna get into so much trouble. That's a hell day for me. I hate cycling also. I hate brunch. And my mother, oh my God, my mother would be a ladies who lunch. Like my mom she makes me go to fucking tea sometimes. Like when I go to Boston, she's like, no one will come with me. I'm like, yeah, no one will come with you because this is a whack fucking idea. And now you're guilt tripping me because I'm your only daughter. So she's taken me to some fancy hotels and we get tea. I'm like, this is not fun. Like we're sipping nasty ass tea and eating overpriced little finger foods. It's just not a good experience. My mom loves a brunch. My mom loves the experience of getting ready, having a mimosa, going somewhere, eating like really fancy eggs. This is my deal. Now this sounds pick me. I trust me, it is not lost on me. This sounds like pick me behavior. Maybe it is. Maybe subconsciously it is. First of all, I hate putting on makeup first thing in the morning if I don't have to. Like if I have to get up in the morning and put on makeup on a non-work day, jail. I don't want to do that. So I have to get up early. I have to get ready. I have to put on makeup. I have to like put on a nice outfit. I'm already out. I'm done. I don't want to do that. I don't even want to do that for something that I want to go to, you know? A. B, like you show up. It's a whole production. It's overpriced. The food is like overly fancy. I just want, literally, I want to go to a shitty diner. I want a shitty diner where I can wear sweatpants, eat some simple eggs. When I ask for eggs, it's fucking eggs. It's not like eggs with fucking chives and fancy sauce. I just want fucking eggs and a protein and a carb. And oh God, I love nothing more than a shitty diner like vase of coffee that they just go around and give to every table. That's my favorite. I feel like the diner people, like those are hard workers. They don't have time to be nice to you. They drop things off at a table. It's quick service. It's inexpensive. They're refilling my coffee. It's probably free refills. I'm getting a good ass omelet. I can customize it without them judging me. It's a much better experience. I fucking hate brunch. I also fucking hate mimosas. I don't want a fucking mimosa in the morning. I want a fucking coffee. I want a coffee, maybe even like a little bit of a green juice to make me feel like I'm doing one correct thing for the day. That's it. I fucking hate brunch. If you want to cancel me for it, fine. That also felt really good to get out. And then on that note, I hate happy hour. You're never going to like, it's happy hour. I don't give a shit. There's nothing happy about it. What, I'm going to save $2 on a cocktail? I'm good. Like, you wanted me to go to some skeevy ass place where the floors are sticky so I can save $2 on a fucking pint of beer? I'm signing off, bro. No, not happening. Now, you want to go get drinks. Now that I know this juxtaposes my previous statement about hating fancy brunch, but you want to go get like a cocktail at like the Sunset Tower and people watch? I'm in for that. I will do that because it's the nighttime. I had the whole day. Now it's time to get ready. I can't drink when the sun is out. And, you know, in the summer, you really can't start drinking until like 9 o'clock at night. If the sun's out, alcohol cannot enter my body. It just feels like a sin. It feels weird. I feel uncomfortable. It just does things to me that I don't like. So I need to get ready in the nighttime and we can go grab a cocktail at a nice place where I can people watch in peace. Next thing, I have never been like a 5-year plan. I don't have a plan. I literally, the last 5 events I was at, they love asking this. Where do you see yourself in 2 years? Not here. That's where I see myself. Not on this carpet right now doing this interview. That's where I see myself. I genuinely don't know. I have goals. Of course, there are things that I want to do. I want to act again. I would love to be a series regular on a show. But when people are like, where do you see yourself in 2 years? I don't know where I see myself tomorrow, you know? And I feel like sometimes, I've talked about this episode 2, having a solidified idea of what I want to be doing in 2 years, I feel like holds me back from the thing that I want to be doing. I'd rather just leave it open-ended. I don't know. Where do you want to be in 2 years? I don't know. Fucking making money, being healthy, not being asked stupid fucking questions on a carpet and not going to brunch. That's where I see myself, you know? But I feel so left out because you ask people like, where do you want to be in 5 years? Like, oh, I want to be engaged. Like Kelsey over here sitting on the floor. Kelsey was like, always knew I want to be engaged before 30. Like but she's also, you all are also psycho. Like she wasn't engaged before 30. Exactly my point. She made it her whole personality to be like, I want to be engaged before 30. She didn't get engaged before 30. So that's why it's best to just leave it open-ended. I'm never going to be the person that has a 5-year plan or where do you see yourself? Don't fucking ask me that. I'm not a big concert person. Coachella has changed my idea about this. It's a lot of standing. And it has to be an artist where I know I'm going to know every song. If it's an artist where I know I only know 2 songs, what am I doing for those? It's so awkward because I'm standing there and I'm moving my feet that are very uncomfortable because I'm wearing heels, and everybody else is singing the lyrics and I don't know the lyrics, and then I'm insecure that people are looking at my mouth and noticing that I'm incorrectly singing the lyrics. Because I've done that sometimes where I'm just like, I just move my mouth around. I just move my mouth, which also probably makes it look like I'm rolling on Molly. But I just move my mouth around and the artist is singing, and I just hope that if people see it out of the corner of their eye, they're like, oh, she is a fan. I'm not. I'm just making up words. I'm literally just doing the alphabet because I feel so awkward because I belted one song. I was so passionate about one song, and then every other song on the set, I'm like, oh, I don't know this one. So it has to be an artist that I fucking ride for. Although that's why I like Coachella, because I can bounce from different sets. And yeah, but I'm not a big concert person. There's like a list of like maybe 3 or 4 people that I'm like, fuck yeah, I want to see them in concert. But I love to dance and I love music, so I always have a good time. But I'm not somebody that's going to wait on Ticketmaster for like the gates to open so I can buy tickets to go see X, Y, and Z. I don't enjoy traveling for the sake of traveling. Like I have some friends that like any excuse to just travel. No, sometimes I need convenience over adventure. Like I need to know, am I going to like the food? What's the weather like? Am I going to like, there's so many questions. I'm not just, oh, well, oh my God, it's a trip to wherever. Okay. That doesn't mean anything to me. I'm not just traveling for the sake of traveling. This one I wrote, which, okay, I'm going to clarify. I wrote, I don't like nice people. That's incorrect. I do like nice people. I have a really hard time with people that are overly nice all the time. I can't. You're probably great, but I feel like you're gonna think I'm a piece of shit, and I just can't. Like that's where the beginning and end of our friendship is. Anytime somebody is, I've met so many people that are disgustingly nice that it's borderline fake. And then when I try to say to people like, don't you think it's kind of weird? They're like, no, she's so nice. And I'm like, oh, so you bought it too. And then I'm like, everybody's an idiot. Everybody's just buying this fake niceness. I don't know. I feel like anybody that's just like overtly nice all the time, or like always positive, or like always wants to play Switzerland about everything, because like no. If you're somebody that like doesn't want to ruffle feathers, you don't want to go against the grain, you don't want to verbalize something that might be controversial, that's great. I love that for you. You probably have a very peaceful life. It's not going to work with mine, because I'm going to be the one that's like, fuck that person. They're a dick. And our friendship is just not going to be sustainable. So I kind of, if you're like overly nice, where like you're talking positively about everything. If you're overly positive, okay, moving on. I'm not go with the flow. And I really wish I was more go with the flow. I wish I could just be like, you know, those people that are like, I have 10 minutes to pack my bag before the airport. God, no fucking shot in hell. That will never, ever be me. I have 10 minutes to pack and then, oh my God, I forgot my whole makeup bag. I'm going to do my whole makeup routine with like this one concealer I found at the bottom of my bag. Or, oh my God, we're traveling. We should just go out because like we're only here for 2 nights. I can't. I'd rather be, I'm taking these fucking glasses up. Okay, now you guys can see my eye bags. I'm not doing it. It's not happening. I am not go with the flow. I don't need a full plan. In fact, I don't like a full plan or a full itinerary. I like it to be a little loose, but I need to have a general idea of what we're doing. Like I'm not spontaneous. Like if my boyfriend ever was like, pack your bags, you don't know where you're going, I'd probably break up with him, because that he would know that would cause me so much anxiety. Pack your bags for a trip and you'll figure out. Like I see those videos all the time on TikTok where a daughter like surprises her mom at the airport. Like she packs because she thinks she's going somewhere. And then her daughter's like, surprise, we're going to Japan. And the mom's like, no way, I've always wanted to go to Japan. I wouldn't want to go anymore, you know? Like you just took something that I really wanted to do and you made it the worst possible way to do it. Now I'm going to Japan. I'm not even packed the way that I want to pack. No, you ruined the whole experience for me. I am not go with the flow. I wish that I were. I'm not trying to be a pick-me. I fucking hate this about me. I wish I could just be like, oh, I'm going to go to the airport and I'm going to book the first flight. Fuck no. Could never be me. And then on that note, I literally can't send it. I just can't send it. I could never send it. Even when I was like youthful and had spunk, I couldn't send it. Like, oh my God, just send it. No. I'm going to send you to the fucking emergency room if you keep trying to peer pressure me to fucking send it. Oh, I wrote, I'm a people please. I'm assuming it was a people pleaser. Fucking, you know, what's his face autocorrected it. And by what's his face, I mean Steve Jobs. I am a people please, but I think everyone is an asshole. I wrote, like, I'll think you're a dick and still do the thing you want me to do, so I don't have to deal with the anxiety of being in my head after about you talking about me. And then I just wrote, holy shit, I think I'm a basket case. I sometimes I have these ideas, usually when I'm smoking, and I'll just write like just write things, and then I'll try to decipher on the podcast, and it's always hilarious, my train of thought. But yes, I am simultaneously a people pleaser, but also a people hater together. It is a weird marriage. I am most likely going to think that you're an asshole, but I will still try to please you, because I would rather please you being an asshole than deal with the anxiety of having to worry about you talking about me later, even though I don't like you. Weird. I'm a basket case. I'm fucked up. Sometimes I'm not that bad. And then the next point actually directly under that says, I'm petty, period. I can't let shit go. Runs in my family, ? I actually have family members that haven't spoken for over 10 years because somebody didn't say hi to somebody at a family event. Like that, it's not my fault. It runs in my family. I am very petty. I have a really hard time letting shit go. I accept people make mistakes. I can look past mistakes. We can move on, but it will always be in my mind for the end of time. And sometimes I fall into this thing where the thing that I said I was over and I let go trickles back in my mind and affects how I judge other things that happen. That's called a grudge. I'm working on that. But it does make me feel, sometimes I'm really good. I'm like, oh, it's water under the bridge. But a lot of times I'm like, I think you're a piece of shit. So that, and then the last point just says, I am not a pick me with 10 exclamation points. Cause I'm really not. I know these sound pick me because they're, again, not the normal opinion, but I feel so isolated. I think honestly the internet is what makes me feel really isolated, because when the Eras tour was happening, it felt like every social media app was just people crying at the concert. And I remember thinking, is something wrong with me? Like something, because all I'm seeing is people that I love and I look up to and I support sobbing over this artist, and I am not having the same reaction. And that's when the internet makes you feel isolated. And I'm altruistic. You guys know that. I'm selfless. I'm here for you guys. So I wanted to air this out to make you guys maybe not feel as isolated as I do, because I'll tell you what, I open TikTok sometimes, I scroll for 2 hours, I exit the app and I go, if there's an apocalypse, they got to take me first, because I am useless. I contribute nothing to what's trendy and fun and loving. Like Taylor Swift is so fun. She sings about fun things. You get to wear glitter and you wear fucking beads and you trade beads. That sounds like a fun culture. And yet here I am. Anyway, that was my bit. But please don't use the music thing against me. That's my biggest fear. I'm genuinely too sensitive. I won't be able to handle it. Also, my parents are coming into town tomorrow for like 7 days, staying in my house. I'm excited. I'm really excited. I actually set a boundary with them. I called them and I set a boundary. I said, hey, sometimes you guys do this thing that that bothers me. And if you do it, I'm making you leave my house. They're not going to listen. But in the moment, they acted like they were listening because they need to stay at my house. My stomach. Anyway, I have to now go make this house look like nobody lives here. Because that's the goal before anybody comes into town. You need to make it look like I need it to look like I bought this place today. And right now it does not look like that. So I'm going to go deal with that. I hope if anybody feels isolated, you feel seen. Or if you listened to that whole episode and you said, can't relate to anything, then I'm just a fucking loser. So I love you guys so much. I hope you have the best weekend. That's all I got for you. I love you. Bye, camera 1 and camera 2. Also, do you like my pants? If you can see, they're like sherbet. Anyway, love you. Bye.